What's going on there, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today I got a pretty interesting video for you guys because from the looks of it, it seems like Battlefield 6 is actually benefiting the Call of Duty franchise in the best way possible. Of course, we don't know just yet until, obviously, BO7 drops and we see how Call of Duty handles the future. But after seeing the response from Battlefield 6, it seems that Call of Duty is trying to change up their game quite a bit. And they're going to be trying to pull people into the franchise by doing exactly what Battlefield 6 is doing, bringing it back to what Battlefield is known for and loved for. But to go ahead and begin, ladies and gentlemen, I actually did not know this. I just recently saw this, but apparently, as we all expected, we all kind of hinted at this for ages. But BO6 was not really the main game of the past 4 years. Apparently, BO7 was not split in half because before, we were all kind of assuming that it was 2 years BO6, 2 years BO7. But apparently, BO7 has been made for the whole lifespan of BO6, which literally explains exactly why that game turned out the way it did. And I gotta be honest, I just hate that practice. I don't know about you guys. Of course, go down in the comment section and let me know. But to be honest, I agree with this post right here by Hib saying, if I knew Black Ops 6 was a filler game, I would have not bought the game. I'm being serious, and I think a lot of people know the same thing, and Activision knows this as well. That's why they never advertise it as such. But it just sucks because why not take a break? I say it all the time. Call of Duty would thrive so heavily from just taking a year or two off and then pumping out a game afterwards. But they just don't want to lose out on that cash, and it's understandable. They're a business. Why would they skip out on making millions, close to billions, every single year? You know, they're going to just pump out some half-assed project. It just is what it is. And it's just depressing, but I wanted to fill you guys in on that information because it kind of shines a light on the whole situation that Black Ops 6 was in, and it explains everything that went on. But moving a little bit further into here, guys, I've seen a lot of posts revolving around Black Ops 7, especially around the marketing. And this is a post right here from the Call of Duty official page. The Guild protects. Learn more about the Guild's next-gen defense tech. And there was actually a response from a reliable leaker, Bob, saying, anything but showing gameplay. And I agree, though. I agree. Call of Duty has been doing nothing but advertisement for this game. But they just don't want to go ahead and showcase anything. It kind of lines up with another tweet from Tom Henderson that I saw here saying, is it just me, or is the hype for Call of Duty this year not there? Even before the Battlefield 6 beta, people don't seem interested in it, and discourse seems to be at an all-time high. And it does. For the first time ever, and I gotta say this too, I'm extraordinarily proud of the Call of Duty community right now. But for the first time ever, it seems that people are just simply not falling for the marketing. I mean, you can even go to the website page and you can see all the streaks, and it's nothing special. Trust me, all the streaks look identical. It's the same crap that we've had over the course of all these years. Just basically rehashed to look a little bit different, but I guarantee once you're in game, it's going to work the same exact way as every streak we've ever witnessed, with no creativity besides making it near futuristic. You know, all these advertisements, yet nobody's discussing them, nobody's talking about them, nobody cares. This is one of the biggest reasons why I think Battlefield 6 was able to gain its hype, ladies and gentlemen. They didn't advertise, they just showed us the game. That's the thing about it. Everybody keeps saying, oh, everybody's falling for the Battlefield 6 advertisements. Oh, people are crumbling under the EA budget. And no, none of that noise. The hype began months ahead of time when we're getting a bunch of leaked footage of the lab session, and we got to see the details of the game, the gameplay, the movement, just everything that they have introduced into Battlefield 6, we got to witness. And a lot of people, you know, not just, top-end streamers who are going to get paid big checks. No, just your every average day person got to actually play it as well. That is what built the hype. That right there. Seeing the game itself. And Bob made a phenomenal point. Although I understand, like I said, usually marketing comes first. But Call of Duty is in a point where I think people are done with that. They understand that just because the marketing is solid does not mean it's going to equate to a actual good performing game and something that we have been asking for ages. But ladies and gentlemen, this is where the video gets very juicy. As I stated in the title, Battlefield is indeed slowly starting to save Call of Duty, and especially the community, and they might actually push COD in the right direction. We have been begging for a return to form within the COD franchise for ages, and year after year after year we get ignored, almost like we are stupid, like we don't understand what makes a good COD game. it almost feels like we're brainwashed to a certain degree because the franchise is so big that it's successful no matter what they do. But Battlefield 6 has proved something. It's proved one thing, that people do want a return to the glory days of video games. No tax sprinting. Forget that, garbage. Having a return to the atmosphere and environments that we used to have within these games like Battlefield and Call of Duty. All of these things are very important. And that's why Battlefield 6 is doing so well right now. Not just because it's a modern day Battlefield game and, we're in a drought. Forget all of that noise. The game is doing well because the Battlefield community has been asking for these things for years, and we're finally getting it. So guess what? The Battlefield community is excited. They're happy. And lo and behold, out of nowhere, before I show you guys this, I want you guys to understand. Black Ops 7 was rumored to have tax sprinting, okay? Tax sprinting was going to be in Black Ops 7. But look at this. This is by the Ghost of Hope. The first tweet said, there's currently a build of Black Ops 7 being tested right now that has no tax sprint. This doesn't mean the final game won't have it, but this is a very good sign. And then, I guess more leaked information came to him. He says, looks like this decision is actually final and not just some offshoot test build. That is so huge, guys. Whether you love or hate Call of Duty, it doesn't matter. This has been something that the Call of Duty community has been begging for ages. Ever since they did it in Black Ops Cold War, we've been all saying, why the heck can't we get that back? And then year after year after year after year, we just got ignored. Again, as I stated, we don't know what we're talking about when it comes to putting together a good Call of Duty game. And then Battlefield 6 comes out. They do everything we asked for. They get so much love for doing it. And now you're telling me that they want to go ahead and test out no tax sprint in Call of Duty and they're making it official now after we just got done the Battlefield 6 beta and they got proof that that's what people wanted? It just makes no sense. And then it goes even further. The Ghost of Hope also leaked out saying, looping streaks may be back in Black Ops 7. Guys, they are bringing back so many features that we have been begging for ages, but this is what I gotta say to you all. Why did it take this long? We have been begging for these changes year after year after year. We have been ignored year after year after year. They continuously pump out what they want to make year after year after year. And then, again, as I stated, Battlefield 6 comes out, makes a game for the community, blows up in numbers, and now they're starting to test other things behind the scenes to make, changes that the community has been begging for. Are you kidding me? It sucks. But as I stated in the title, Battlefield 6 might be that gem that can help Call of Duty thrive. Because everybody who's been watching my channel, I don't want COD to die. Although I want to play other games at this point because they've been abusing us for so long. COD is one of my, all-time favorite franchises between the COD franchise, the Battlefield franchise, Gears of War, and those were some of the main ones I played back in the day. I used to play a lot of The Last of Us multiplayer as well, and also Uncharted multiplayer. But, so on and so forth. Those are my main franchise, but COD is definitely one of them. I don't want to see COD go anywhere. I want to see COD go back to its former glory. So this might be a good thing here, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to see it crumble, but if this competition from Battlefield 6 is going to make Call of Duty start acting more accordingly and do things that the community wants, that's a win-win for absolutely everybody out there. And the Ghost of Hope also came out saying that he has more leaks and stuff to showcase. He might actually be putting it up later today. So, of course, make sure you guys go ahead and check out his Twitter account. You never know what you'll see. But the moral of the story here, ladies and gentlemen, is that changes are coming, and they're good changes for Call of Duty, things that we have been asking for a very long time. And I personally believe that these changes would never happen if Battlefield 6 wasn't a thing. And if Battlefield 6 flopped and it wasn't a good Battlefield game and it was everything that we didn't want, I guarantee BO7 would have kept going in the same exact path as, pretty much every Call of Duty game we have ever witnessed. Now, I'm not saying this is going to resolve everything about COD. We still have the skill-based matchmaking. I guarantee the skins and atmosphere is still going to be out of this world. We actually already saw a bunch of the leaked cosmetics for pre-ordering the game, which are already out of this world. So, there's still other factors. But down to the core gameplay, that's a step in the right direction. And you never know. Again, in Call of Duty, you don't really see changes every year, right? Call of Duty works like Battlefield, for example, but it still milks the franchise yearly. Battlefield, you have a few years to kind of formulate what you want to go ahead and put together. Call of Duty, you won't see major changes until like 2-3 years down the road, but you're still going to get a game every single year. So I don't think that we're going to see any huge changes completely with BO7, but you never know. By the time Infinity Ward's next COD comes out, or even Sledgehammer Games, they might even take it a step further and change around the atmosphere and the skins, so on and so forth. We have no clue. But all I gotta say is I'm very thankful for Battlefield 6, because Battlefield 6 is starting to set the AAA gaming scene correct, and it's starting to show these developers that the communities know what they're talking about. We're not just yapping to yap. We're not just talking crap. We love these franchises, and we know what these franchises can be. We know the potential that they could be at. And if they just simply listen to any of our feedback, they could go a very long ways and bring a lot of hype back into the overall community. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, go down in the comment section. Let me know your opinions about all this stuff down below. Do you think that these are good changes? Do you think they're bad changes? Do you think Treyarch is actually going to kind of cook when it comes to Black Ops 7? Or do you think it's going to turn out just like every other Call of Duty game that has ever released in these past, recent years, where it's just, amazing marketing, and then when the game drops, it's buggy, horrifying, nothing the community has asked for, and it turns out to just be another devastating title. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I post here daily at 8 morning Eastern Time. And as always, we sometimes double upload at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Everything between COD, Battlefield, Splitgate 2, Arc Raiders. So, of course, if you guys are interested, you want to catch up with any of this content, subscribe and hit that bell. And last but not least, I do stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch, starting between 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And don't forget, guys, the second weekend of the Battlefield 6 beta is starting on Thursday. So we're going to be grinding that out pretty much all day long. So, of course, if you guys are interested, find a link to my Twitch channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.